Namaskar, my dear friends, I am back again. So today's episode, we are going to talk about an interesting topic that I somehow encounter a lot at work. Not just at work, but I spend a lot of time at work. So let's just say at work. I'm in a position where I have to enforce consequences when a person's action is not up to standard, to promote discipline and order within my company. So fellow leaders had this discussion and one asked one made a statement that some people actually get away with things. Some people would get away with murder. It's very interesting. So the question now is being brought up. Do people actually get away with heinous crimes or murder or just anything at all? Do they? And my answer is, I don't think so. I really don't think so. Yeah, sure, we can somehow see it in our society like, judicial system where they broadcast verdicts and etc. where some people may think like, he should have gotten more punishment, he got away with murder, things that, or like thieves who've never been caught, or like whatever. So many things going on in our lives. But here's what I think. Justin Timberlake's song? What goes around, comes all the way back around, yeah. Yes, I think he is, right? I think there's always this series of cause and effect. Whatever you cause, whatever action one makes, there's always an effect. There's always a consequence. The only thing is, I think the reason why people think that some people would get away with things, get away with consequences, because they only think about in segments. They think of a timeline where the person should get a consequence in a very short timeline, or even in this lifetime. Like, I honestly think there's a lot of people who don't understand that this lifetime is a very short segment of the very, very, very long time there is in this cosmic sphere. So yes, maybe I could understand where they say, people got away with this, people got away with crimes, because maybe in this lifetime, sure, they would. But I doubt life would have them get away with things. And it's not that life or the cosmic intelligence is out to get us. It's just really bound to happen. It's just like the law of this world, cause and effect, in a very, very long span of time. So it actually makes me think, like, if I do something like, when you do something and you laugh about some things, but this thing that people just colloquially call karma. Like, it's funny, like, let's say I'm with a friend, because this actually happens more often than not. If I hang out with my friends and we make fun of each other, blah 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 blah, and I would jokingly insult them, and then they would be like, blah 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 blah, and then we would start laughing, and then after a while I would trip or stumble or hurt myself, and they would laugh and they would say, see, that's your karma. And we would laugh about it. But that's actually very interesting, because if that was the effect of my initial action, like let's say I jokingly insult somebody and the effect is that I trip in a very short span of time, let's say I got my consequences. I think that's actually better than having to wait for the consequence that's going to happen in a week, in a year, in a decade, in the next lifetime. Because if the consequence was closer, then it somehow closes the loop. But if the consequences goes further and further, that loop, we don't know how that loop will look like. So for instance, we plant a seed. If a seed grows within a few days, then it's really tiny, really cute bud. But if we check up on it after a decade, then it's probably going to be a tree. If we're going to check up on it after a millennia, it's probably going to be a forest. So I think similar with consequence. If we plant an action, depending on how long it comes around, it's going to look very, very different than how we initially anticipate it to be, because it has been given time to evolve and mature. It'd be nice if it was a seed, and it'd be nice if it becomes a forest. But what if it's a virus? A small speck of virus that turns into a very, very awful plague. So yes, I think about consequences now. So in conclusion, I would just like to say, I think with the consciousness, the evolution of people's consciousness right now, I think we're still in a cycle of cause and effect. Maybe there will come a time where we will be evolved enough where we can actually obliterate the cycle of cause and effect, and we will transcend that. But I know for a fact, majority of humanity is not there yet, because we're still dealing with cause and effect. I think we just have to be conscious and aware that these things actually happen. But at least on my perspective, I'm not really too worried about the consequences of my action, because I know no matter what I do, whatever consequences might come, whatever effects that loops around and comes back to me, I will wholeheartedly accept it, embrace it with grace, because I know I'm responsible for my actions. I think I have really come to a point in life where I just appreciate being here in this world, being able to live and soak in all the wonders and beauty there is in this world, and enjoy the cycles of cause and effect, and absorb all the grace and wonder and beauty there is in the world until my time is over. Namaskaram. Until next time, you guys. Cause, effect, consequences. It's still also beautiful. Until next time. Bye.